In today's video, we're gonna tackle a very important question. Whether you are a bad developer or an evil developer, if you use AI. You know, it's the internet. There's no in between. You're either good or bad. Let's discuss it. Before we continue, we need to address the elephant in the room, obviously, and that's the question whether I use AI for my game, Aiden Jr., whether I am an evil person, or at least game developer. And the answer to that question is no, I don't use AI-ish. A very tiny little yes, but mostly no. All the artwork of my game is 100% handmade. I'm somewhat of a control freak. I don't think I can outsource most of what I do. Not even to AI. It needs to be mine. I need to be in control of every single pixel. However, that's the tiny little yes, I do use AI to help me debug any issue that comes across. Whenever something breaks and I've got no clue what's going on, I share my code with ChatGPT, and most of the time it's able to pinpoint the exact reason for an error to occur. So no AI artwork, I don't really believe in that. It really needs to come from my own creative soul. But in terms of programming, I use it as a co-pilot. I have to compensate with some of my shortcomings. I'm not very good at math, and while I'm an okay programmer, sometimes I just don't know how to go about certain things. So back to the topic. Are you a bad game developer if you use AI? The first time when I wanted to make a video about this was because of a comment on one of my recent videos. I made this video, it was called something along the lines of how I used Limbo AI for my game, which has nothing to do with generative AI. Like Limbo AI is just an old school way of making your characters somewhat smart. So they can walk, attack, do things, basically. So this person saw the thumbnail and the title and was already heated and angry. They clicked on it and left some angry comment like, "This sucks and good luck with publishing your game to Steam. It will get rejected," something along those lines. I didn't really give too much thoughts to it, but it did make me realize that people are so angry about AI. And I get that, to be honest. You know, while I do use AI for my real job as a assistant and also for the programming of my game as a co-pilot, every now and then I get super depressed by the idea of AI. Like you see those videos and even game prototypes that somewhat work and somewhat look good. Yeah, that's depressing, don't you think? It was always something that we crazy creatives put so much time and effort into to get to a certain point, and now those newcomers, they can just do the same thing with a prompt. And I know that's not completely the case. In many cases, there's way more going on than just an AI prompt. Most of those examples with AI created games still borrow existing art packs. But still, it sometimes drags me down, I'm not gonna lie. But the real reason why I'm making this video is because of this little tweet, this little prototype. I saw it during work and I thought, oh, this looks awesome. It actually resembles an idea that I had a few months ago, like how can I make a Duke Nukem old school Doom type of game, but then open world and big? Is that even possible? Is that even possible with sprites? What are the limitations? How could it look like? I never really gave it too much thought afterwards because I'm too busy with my own game. But honestly, the next game that I'm making, if I ever be able to finish the current one, is a shooter. Is an old school Duke Nukem inspired shooter in a big open world. So whenever I saw that tweet, I really thought to myself, this looks amazing. This is exactly what I had in mind when I was thinking about this concept. I didn't really know it was AI because I was also working and I just retweeted it and gave it a little like or heart or whatever you call it. But the next day I found out that it was quite a controversial tweet. Folks were angry about it because it was AI generated. Real developers were already working on those type of games. This was just AI slop. So I thought I need to remove the retweet. I don't want to be evil. I don't want to be part of this, AI slop mob. Don't cancel me, please. But I didn't. I didn't remove it. Because it still inspires me. I still think it's a cool piece of prototype art. And it's probably stolen from other artists, and I'm pretty sure that in the future we're going to get better laws for that. I'm not completely sure how I feel about that part, but for what it is, it's still something that tickles my creative brain. It shows the potential of a game that apparently lots of people are craving for. It's not like one of those Elon Musk type of prototypes that he sometimes retweets, which are just completely soulless. While it's impressive that AI is able to do it, I just don't feel anything, But these few seconds of animation, they show potential. Is this sweet? by D5 Emulate or Dissimulate that caused this whole controversy. And you can tell why, you know? Regardless of AI or not, it shows a super immersive retro-looking game that we've never seen before. And whether it is realistic or not to create this is not really important right now, to be honest. Because, you know, this is more like a visual trick. Making this work in an actual 360 open world game is a whole different question. But just as a proof of concept, it kind of tickled the creative brains of thousands of game developers. It also made lots of people angry for good and bad reasons. But, you know, we cannot deny that it's doing something to the community. And I think Frank kind of nails it here. You know, it's a call to all the Godot friends. Make a game like this. There's a market for it. If you want to make money, go and investigate this idea. Go and make millions. Making it sound like it's easy. In a way, people are, because of this tweet, starting projects. I've seen so many game developers doing their first prototypes in Godot, trying to achieve something that's actually realistically possible, doable in an engine. And that's the most beautiful thing that came out of this whole thing, in my opinion. This one, for example, they tried to recreate it with Midjourney. This actually proves to me that just AI won't get great results. With all due respect, this is not something that impresses me at all. I think that has something to do with the skill. Like if you look at this example, like we've never seen such a big, huge world with retro graphics. And again, this might not be realistic or even possible to 100% replicate in an engine. It's something nice to aspire to, you know? It's a nice end goal to be trying to achieve in a real engine. And I think somebody else replied to the tweet like, don't waste your time on AI because this game is already being developed and nobody pays attention to it. And that's this one. And while I think it doesn't have the same, you know, awe factor, the quality of the more immersive grand scale of this prototype, I do think it's super impressive. This is really a game I would like to play whenever it gets released. And it's clearly more 3D powered with all the effects and the engine itself. But still, super cool. And then there was this tweet, like not quite the same, without AI, but it can be done. And while it doesn't capture the sense of, you know, the big scale mountains and the castle in the background, just imagine having a background sprite of a mountain and a castle in the skybox background. Then I truly think it could work. It could work. I especially like how the normal map creates shadows on the shield. It's so darn cool, man. This is what I like most about this AI post is all the actual game developers trying to do their thing to replicate it and figure out how it could work. Oh yeah, this tweet, I saved it because it kind of captures the way I think about it. I think most people are annoyed that a AI bot generated something we didn't know we needed and we wanted. That a soulless AI comes up with an idea that wasn't there yet. And I get that. Every now and then I hate AI as much as the next one, but I cannot ignore the fact that this looks amazing. And I think what they say right over here is not the art style or anything, it's skill. Modern games do a bad job of evoking the feeling of sublimity. And I think apart from games like Elden Ring, there aren't too many 3D games that fully capture the spirit and the overall vibe of this proof of concept. Wizardom said, look no further, we've got you covered. I was already following this game. It looks amazing. We've been talking about this game a lot in our Discord. Whenever a few of our Discord members were working on the FPS. And while I don't think that this is the thing that we are looking for, because this is way bigger, way more immersive, the sense of skill is just insane in this prototype, I do think that this is super cool. I'm really looking forward to play this game whenever it's got a significant release. Jason Smith says that, but playable, and shows a similar looking clip. It doesn't give me the same retro vibes as the example, but it definitely looks cool. Oh, it's this game. I've already wishlisted this one on Steam. It looks incredible. I think I saw a documentary YouTube video of how he went about creating the models and the weapons. Looks super pretty. Lunar Ming says, okay, I've tried to recreate the similar scene in my game. Luckily, I've already had lots of similar assets. What do you think? You know, all those real prototypes, they are very on rails, you know, it's very linear, therefore it looks good. So it's going to be super challenging to make this an actual game. But I love the effort, man. I truly love the effort. This is why I love game developers, man. And the way this AI thing ignited all these prototypes. Kieran Ritchie says, took a step at the first-person pixel art fantasy game concept thing. I really love this idea. Would be an enormous challenge to make it work in a real game engine, but fun to imagine. Exactly. That's exactly what I'm trying to say with my bad English. It still requires so much work, time, effort, a team of developers, or just a sick individual trying to do it all by themselves. But just look at this, man. It's amazing. Super cool. So honestly, I'm super indecisive about this topic. I use it, so I'm somewhat of a hypocrite. I hate it. I sometimes even despise it whenever those Elon Musk type of folks pretend to be game developers. But it can also work, especially in the concept phase of game development. So it's a complicated one, regardless of the regulations. And I think this gray area, which doesn't really sit well with me, I do think that AI can really work at the conception phase, you know, just thinking about ideas to complement your dream game. And that part is very important. I think you will never be able to finish a game that, you know, you actually will be publishing to Steam or any other platform that people are really going to like, that plays well, that sounds well, without a over-obsessive developer steering the wheel. That's a very key ingredient. You won't be able to replace the developer in this whole thing. So can it inspire? Definitely. Can it really create and enhance? Maybe in the future. But I'm not really a fan of it, but I'm also realistic enough to see that it could definitely work in the future way better than it works right now. But still, I still think we need over-obsessive, almost crazy developers willing to sacrifice their life, sacrificing sleep, other hobbies, forgetting about your wife's birthday. Never happened to me. Shut up. So a few prompts can spark amazing ideas, and AI might be an incredible co-pilot for coding, but it's that deep personal passion that might actually get you to the finish line with a fun playable game. You will not succeed if your dream game isn't actually your dream. You may clap now. I appreciate you enduring this ramble about AI. What do you think about it? Let me know in the comments below. I want to hear some other thoughts and ideas. Personally, I don't think you are bad or evil when you use AI. I don't think I would continue the game development if I would lose control. So therefore, I don't use it for art, I don't use it for ideas, I don't use it for programming. I just use it as a tool, a co-pilot to make me work faster. If the moment really comes when everything gets automated and the whole creative soul gets sucked out of it, I would probably just quit. But I don't think that will ever happen. But you know, that's maybe something for the next video in about a year or two. Anyway, let me know what you think about this whole topic, and I see you guys around in the next video or stream.